One of the new requirements when submitting electronic files is the 3D line strings file. So if you take a look at our electronic deliverables guidelines, you'll see this section has been added. It's not too long. Basically, it's just saying that when you model projects, you need to create this 3D line strings file that contains 3D line strings directly in the file, not referenced. So some of the line strings that we are looking for are going to be things like the grade breaks, any kind of pavement transitions, the subgrade extents, barrier extents. Uh, so this section will get updated probably over time as we get more feedback from the contractor community. So more guidance will come as we go through this process. So the reason it needs to be directly in the file, not referenced in, is because the contractor's software, when pulling in DGNs, doesn't know how to get to the references. So we're gonna jump over to DGN file, and I'm gonna show you how to make this file. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna create a file to hold these 3D line strings. So you can use our create design files app, or you can create one however you wish. You notice that the first line we've added now, it says 3D line strings. It's a KL code. And I'm going to put this over in a different engineering folder. But anyways, so we're going to create that. I want to call out that it does use the 3D seed file since it's going to contain 3D line strings. So we'll create this file, and then we will go and open it. And once the file is open, we will start adding our references in that we need. So we're going to add in references to any of our files that contain these 3D line strings. That's going to be like your corridor modeling files or any file you might have done some kind of modeling in. So let's go and I'll add some corridor files here. So I'm going to pull in these 3 files. And so when you're adding the reference, you want to make sure you're bringing in the 3D reference, because that's really what we're after here is the 3D line strings here. So I'll bring those in. Now I have noticed that sometimes when you add a reference, it's automatically adding in the design model with it. If that happens, I would just turn the display of those off. So we'll fit in my view here. And now we need to start churning off the levels that we don't need. So the first things I would say is let's turn off all the surfaces since we're really only after the line strings in this file. So we can turn off all these surfaces. Probably turn off the default. This existing surface stuff, the DT, we can get rid of. When it comes in terms of like the pavement layers, we really only need like the surface course top, so we don't need the bottom, we don't need the intermediate course, and we just really need the bottom of the last layer there. Okay, probably don't need the do not constructs on. Now this is just a demo file, so take a look. I can spin around. You're gonna notice that I do have grading going straight through here, which obviously is not correct. So you do this at the end of your project when you're done with your modeling, just to generate this file. So you can take a look and see what kind of line strings are showing up here, and kind of gauge if you turned off. If you see something that is a surface, go find the level, turn it off. But really, that's what we're after here is these 3D line strings. So what I would recommend is once you're done with all that is you save settings on the file. So that way, if you ever need to remake this file in the future, you're kind of already set up if you ever make a change. So now in terms of making this file so that these line strings are directly in them, Probably the easiest way to do that is to merge the references into this file. But like I mentioned, if you want to come back, be able to come back and easily remake this file, I'd say we leave this file as kind of our template, and then we can do save as. So we'll just save this file, and then we can do the merging in this copy. That way we can always go back to the first file and remake this if needed. So now in this copy, I can just come and highlight all of my references, and I can right click and select merge into master and then click the view. It's going to give me a little alert message. I'll hit yes, I want to do this, and you'll see the references are gone, and now these line strings are directly in my file, and I'm good to save this and then add it to the zip file for submission.